Shalom, peace be with you. We'll continue with the reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 43, with the Perikop title, Rebekah is betrothed to Isaac, part 3. See, I'm standing beside this spring. If a young woman comes out to draw water and I say to her, "Please let me drink a little water from your jar," and if she says to me, "Drink, and I'll draw water for your camels too," let her be the one the Lord has chosen for my master's son. Before I finished praying in my heart, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water, and I said to her, "Please give me a drink." She quickly lowered her jar from her shoulder and said, "Drink, and I'll water your camels too." So I drank, and she watered the camels also. I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" She said, "The daughter of Bethuel, son of Nahor, whom Milcah bore to him." Then I put the ring in her nose and the bracelets on her arms, and I bowed down and worshipped the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who had led me on the right road to get the daughters of my master's brother for his son. Now, if you will show kindness and faithfulness to my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, so I may know which way to turn. Laban and Bethuel answered, "This is from the Lord. We can say nothing to you one way or the other. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go, and let her become the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has directed." When Abraham's servant heard what they said, he bowed down to the ground before the Lord. Then the servant brought out gold and silver jewelry and articles of clothing and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave costly gifts to her brother and to her mother. Then he and the men who were with him ate and drank and spent the night there. When they got up the next morning, he said, "Send me on my way to my master." But her brother and her mother replied, "Let the young woman remain with us 10 days or so, then you may go." But he said to them, "Do not detain me. Now that the Lord has granted success to my journey, send me on my way so I may go to my master." Then they said, "Let's call the young woman and ask her about it." So they called Rebekah and asked her, "Will you go with this man?" "I will go," she said. So they sent their sister Rebekah on her way, along with her nurse and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, "Our sister, may you increase to thousands upon thousands. May your offspring possess the cities of their enemies." Then Rebekah and her attendants got ready and mounted the camels and went back with the men. So the servant took Rebekah and left. Now Isaac had come from Beer Lahai Roi, for he was living in the Negev. He went out to the field one evening to meditate, and as he looked up, he saw camels approaching. Rebekah also looked up and saw Isaac. She got down from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is that man in the field coming to meet us?" "He is my master," the servant answered. So she took her veil and covered herself. Then the servant told Isaac all he had done. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah, and he married Rebekah. So she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. The word of the Lord. What can we learn from this passage, from this Perikop? This is part 3, so if you missed part 1 and part 2, be sure you browse from the playlist of Genesis. There you will see part 1 and part 2. Rebekah finally married to Isaac. Isaac is the only son from Sarah, the son of Abraham. Sarah is the wife of Abraham, the real wife, the first wife, the legitimate wife. But Sarah has died, and now Isaac, her only son, Abraham's only son, the promised son, the son from the promised Abraham and God, the promise that God made to Abraham, that Abraham will have multitude, millions, billions of offspring, and that is from Isaac. So the servant of Abraham finally received permission from the family of Rebekah. This is Rebekah. This is the servant of Abraham. This is Laban, the brother of Rebekah. This is Rebekah's sister. This is Bethuel, Rebekah's father, and this is Rebekah's mother. So Rebekah's family, parents, sibling, they give permission for Rebekah to be brought to Negev with the servant of Abraham, to be married to Isaac. And so Abraham's servant took out all the gifts, very precious gifts, very expensive gifts, jewelry, gold and silver, articles of clothing, and he gave them to Rebekah, and also give her mother and her brother costly gifts. So these are very costly gifts, from gold, silver jewelry. So the servant is representing the household of Abraham to propose to the family of Rebekah, so that Rebekah can be Isaac's wife. And the family agree, and the next day they want to go. They pack up, ready to leave. But before that, the family try to negotiate. Can you wait another maybe 10 days? Another 10 days? Let the young woman remain with us 10 days or so, then you may go. But the servant said, do not detain me, because the Lord has granted success to my journey. Send me on my way, so I may go to my master. So the family, all right, but you must ask the young woman first. Ask Rebekah. So they called Rebekah and asked her, will you go with this man today? Yeah, I will go, she said. And finally, the servant went with Rebekah and all her entourage with camel from Mesopotamia. Let's see the map here. So this is Negev desert. This is where Abraham lived, and this is Mesopotamia, Ur, and its surrounding area where the family or the origin of Abraham, the family of Abraham lives. So from here to Negev desert, it's a long way to go. This is 300 kilometers, So from here to there, around 600 kilometers by camel, by this very slow camel. Can you imagine? 600 kilometers to go. How long it takes? How long does it take? It may take several weeks to months, depending on the traffic. But there is no traffic. There is only hurdle or perhaps obstacle, because camel needs grass to eat, water also. And so as long as there is grass on the way, and then it shouldn't be a problem. And so they left to go to Negev. This is this is Rebekah on the camel back, and they travel long way back to Negev, here in desert Negev. In the afternoon, Isaac is walking, looking around, trying to meditate. Here, Isaac went out to the field in one evening or in one afternoon, but there is still light, so he can look up, and he saw camels approaching. Rebekah also looked up and saw Isaac, and then she asked the servant, "Who is that man in the field coming to meet us?" "Oh, he is my master. He is the person," the servant answered. So she took her veil and covered herself. And finally, the servant told Isaac all the process that he had to undergone. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah, and he married Rebekah. And so she became his wife. He loved her very much, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. A happy ending for Isaac. A long journey for Abraham's servant. Fruitful journey, fruitful effort, produce result. The result is wife for Isaac. Good story. For those of you who would like to share, please do so. Don't forget to subscribe for the next story, for the next passage or perikop. And please give it a like if you like this video. I'll see you in the next perikop with different title, still from the book of Genesis. Thank you, and God Jesus bless us all.